All right, this is the Blue Madness Con. Jeez Louise. The Blue Madness podcast. I ate way too much these last 2 days. 2 buffets each day, Saturday and Sunday. So I'm messed up. I do have Mike Salas with me. We do have a big announcement coming up. We'll leave that for a little bit for people to come in. I got to make sure the Rumble thing's going, trying to build that channel also. And give me just a second. I get the thumbnail going. Mike, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people again, just to make sure, and then you can start talking about the latest news today, since you do have 2 articles on that.
I appreciate it, Tim. As everybody knows, my name's Mike Salas. I have my social media as Dodgers After Duty. I do a lot of content with the minor league system. I post a lot of short clips on my social media on Twitter. I don't really do a whole lot on the Instagram stuff because I find it a little bit easier for Twitter for me, which I'll probably maybe do a few more things on Instagram. My Instagram is also Dodgers After Duty, and I'm a writer. I have my own Substack and been posting some articles on the minor league system and everything Dodgers, including the signing of a minor league contract of Andrew Heany today or this morning, which was kind of surprising to see. So, yeah, love the Dodgers. Been doing it for a long time. Been going to spring training forever, and been following the minor leagues for the past 4 years now. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and he mentioned the Andrew Heaney signing. We all kind of woke up to that. Yesterday, we saw the news or last night, Walker Buehler is with the Phillies, so that went out the door. But it's kind of weird to go no Buehler, but Heaney. Uh,
Right?
well, it just depends on the opportunity. It sounds like Heaney's going to go to OKC initially, so that's kind of a good thing. I think you mentioned that he actually lives in Oklahoma City,
Yes.
and so maybe he's going to go get spring training part 2 going. I have no idea what his role is going to be other than depth. Maybe Brent Honeywell type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I mean, it's he's definitely not going to be a starter. Um, I don't think. I mean, I think he's just more of an insurance, kind of like with something that you've always been saying for ever since we've known each other is you can never have enough pitching,
Yep.
and if he's going to be somebody who can come in and eat up some innings and kind of like you just said, do the Brett Honeywell thing, then that's what he'll do. And he's going to start out in Oklahoma. I think he's maybe pitching this new series, this new 6-game series.
Okay.
So I won't be surprised if he comes in for that. And yeah, I don't really have any. He's not replacing anybody.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think the starting lineup is pretty much set. I just think that he may just be a long reliever if he comes up at all,
Yeah.
or if say like somebody's struggling real heavily, especially with Dave Roberts' comments yesterday in regards if you're not going to be playing, you may be replaced. So,
Which
or-
is I like seeing that.
unless you're Ohtani or Betts.
Yeah. Well, and we get that.
Yeah.
Um, and it's funny because I did a quick short with the Heaney signing. I know you did an article. By the way, it's linked. Mike's article is linked on my website, Dodgers2080.com. You can see he's got 2 articles, one on Heaney and the other one on Kopech and Kim. So, and then Nando, and then I was reminded because I didn't mention you can never have enough pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny, I can't remember the full thing, commented, as you say, as you've been preaching, you can never have enough pitching. So I'm glad that's sticking. Yeah, we gotta get T-shirts or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But Nando mentions, I think this is correct. Doubt Buehler would have accepted a minor league deal, but it would have been cool to see him back, and I get that. And the Dodgers made it just, it's one of those things where you got to trust the front office on some of these things. If they thought that Buehler could help them right away,
Mm-hmm.
or in October, they would have grabbed him. Don't be surprised if he has some good and bad with the Phillies. But
Didn't he sign a minor league with the Phillies?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, it's a major league deal.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's a starter or a reliever, because remember, they lost Zach Wheeler for the year.
Well, I mean, he's going down to their AAA team.
Buehler is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why I thought he was on a minor league deal, because he was starting out with their AAA team first, and then
Oh,
he's going to be brought up, I guess, in the series before they come to LA.
oh, did they say if he's going to be a starter or reliever?
Starter.
Okay. Maybe that's because, maybe there's something where they just needed him to, I don't know, get some work in. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're right. It is a minor league contract also. So, yeah, I think that, or maybe he just didn't want to go back to the Dodgers. Carlos Garcia with the super chat. Does Roki or Hurt return this season?
I will say no on Kyle Hurt unless it's absolutely necessary and the wheels are falling off in the bullpen. And my personal opinion on Sasaki, I don't see him coming back either.
Yeah, I mean, his results, they're still not what we heard about. I mean,
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, this guy's supposed to be throwing 102 miles an hour and with wicked stuff and good command and all that type of stuff. It's just not, or good enough command. It's not there yet.
No, his command is all over the place. I mean, because I've watched all of his starts since he's been, with Oklahoma. His last start was probably his best one, but he was still missing a lot of up during his fastball. His splitter is not really pinpoint. It goes in the dirt,
Oh.
or it's missing glove side, or on the inside a lot. His fastball is kind of doing the same thing. It was up on his last start. It got to 98 miles an hour. But I think, what was it, the third inning before he was pulled into fourth, it was sitting at 91, 92.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
not it.
and then the fourth inning is when he hit 98.
Okay.
So to me, it looks like he's holding back on throwing the heat that he can throw.
Mm,
Because when he throws it, he's throwing some gas.
yeah.
But when he's not, he's not.
Yeah.
So
Well, Kyle Hurt, just people saw it. Pete Soto was out at Dodger Stadium for us on Saturday and Sunday. By the way, catch his stuff. It's on the Dodgers 2080 Instagram. I'll be also uploading it to the YouTube. But Pete was able to catch Kyle Hurt was throwing to batters. So that's the first step.
mhm.
Well, no, it's not the first step. He's been doing stuff in Arizona. He hasn't had a rehab yet, though, has he?
No,
So that's
he's just been throwing to the minor leaguers that are down in Arizona right now.
yeah. And then Showtime LA was concerned about Jang, about can he throw enough strikes?
I think Jang, watching him yesterday, he did pretty good. His command's still off. His velocity's still there, so I'm not really worried about that. His off-speed stuff is still plays. He's just got to get his command dialed in. Kind of like the problems, when we saw him when he made his debut with Rancho, and then the season that he had. I don't know what type of injury he had. The thing about the minor league systems, they really don't put that out. So I don't know if it was a back, a leg, inflammation or what. But he does look like he's throwing, and he's looking. I thought he looked decent, especially for his first start. He only pitched 2 innings, and coming back. So I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And then one more. I guess we'll do this one before, and then we'll do our announcement. Congratulations to Heany from going one of the worst teams and cut from a team to a postseason team. All he's got to do is get throw one pitch at the major league level, and he's might get a little bonus. Well, no matter what, the Dodgers make the playoffs. There's always some playoff money involved.
Oh, definitely.
And so the further they get, though, the better it gets. And so hopefully Andrew Heany and all these guys can make a big get a big bonus.
I don't mind the deal. I mean, actually, I think it's a good deal. I think that the pitching staff will get together with Oklahoma and come together with the plan to where they dial in probably about 3 of his pitches to make sure that they're solid, because that's basically all you're going to need from him, especially if he's going to be coming in as a reliever.
Now that you bring that up, now I get worried about Vest. Yeah, no, I do. I heard he is going out for a rehab starts, or he's coming back sooner
This
than
week.
later. Yeah, so that's good. But just look, who what the Dodgers are, who died. I mean, it's literally that. Whose arm is being cut off or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he replaces Kirby Yates.
I tell you, that guy, yeah, he just hasn't. He's never found it. He's been injured. He was good at the very beginning of the season,
Mhm.
and then he had the one who blew that save against the Rangers, and
Mhm.
then his net, and really just then got hurt. He was on the injury list soon after that. He just has never been healthy, and yeah, just hasn't been it. And well, we'll talk about Tanner Scott later. Well, let's do our. Why don't we do our announcement?
Cool. Let's go.
All right, the big announcement, the big news. Um, everything all good with everything else, everyone in the Dodger sphere and all that stuff. Everything's been cool. So the partnership announcement, Dodgers After Duty, which is Mike Salas and Dodgers
Mhm.
2080, moi, join forces. We're thrilled to announce our exciting new partnership between Dodgers After Duty and Dodgers 2080. Mike from Dodgers After Duty is teaming up with Tim.
You want to mute, Tim?
How about now?
There you go. You're good.
It vanished on me. I saw that. So now I know. All I got to do is click it on and off. All right. Dodgers After Duty and Dodgers 2080. Okay, Mike from Dodgers After Duty is teaming up with Tim from Dodgers 2080 as photographer and videographer to bring fans unparalleled content centered around their passion for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Together, Mike and Tim will produce high-quality videos and engaging podcasts, which will be featured on the Dodgers 2080 YouTube channel. This dynamic duo is committed to delivering content infused with Christian values, ensuring wholesome, reliable, and inspiring coverage that resonates with fans of all ages. Get ready for exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, in-depth discussions, and a fresh perspective on everything Dodgers. Stay tuned for our upcoming video releases and podcast schedule for the Dodgers 2080 YouTube channel. Thank you for your continued support, and let's cheer for the Dodgers together, Mike and Tim. So here we go.
Heck yeah.
Let's
Completely
go.
excited.
We're gonna have I don't know. For me, I just see it as a chance for us to grow together,
Mhm.
get some consistency in this channel. Hit Tim. And just go for it. What are your thoughts? Go ahead and share it with the world.
I'm super excited about it. You and I have known each other, for a while now. Our values are pretty much the same. Our passions are pretty much the same. I've written for a couple of different people, which has been great. I was with Dodgers Beat, and it just wasn't going down the path, that I was looking to go down. And then we talked, and we agreed on a lot of things, and we came up with this partnership. So I'm looking to help grow the channel, put out some good content, get some good pictures, get some good video, cover the minor league system pretty well. I like to do a podcast about once, maybe twice a week, which we talked about, whether it's us together or me by myself. You know, just some more consistency for the both of us, and to grow, because we are, not speaking for you, Tim, but I think we're both very passionate about the Dodgers prospects and the Dodgers organization itself. And we want to just put that out there for everybody and show that. So super excited.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the captain obvious that really becomes of this is that there will be more prospect coverage.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. I will do all I can under my powers to get Mike as much media access as he can handle. Hopefully, it's a lot, and hopefully we get granted those. We're kind of the low people on that stuff, but not with the Quakes. And then
Mm-hmm.
You got playoffs coming up, and said hit me up which you want to do with that. And then next year, they're going to be in Ontario.
Yeah.
In fact, there's something going on. I think it was September 11. I need to check on that from Ontario. A coverage. One of us needs to be there.
Yeah.
And just to go, hey, this is who we are, and we're moving forward.
And the great thing is like, with my time off, especially when it comes to spring training, I think our new channel together will just be inundated by spring training coverage, almost on a daily basis for all you who are interested in it, that want to see the videos and that want to see the coverage. I think we're going to have a very extensive coverage of that in 2026. So.
Yeah, Mike will be given free reign on the channel to upload and all that good stuff. And then, like I did earlier today, I linked to his Substack.
Mm-hmm.
The Substack will have the gory details, all the good stuff that you're going to really want. I'm just, because of my website can get views, but I want to direct a lot of that to Mike's Substack. That's where the real good stuff is going to be, in terms of details of prospects, and of course verbally.
Mm-hmm.
I think you will end up seeing things like, hey, Mike wrote an article about some guy, and then maybe in the next day or something, we'll have a podcast. We'll go through it. We'll talk about it, and just to get, we're trying to build different things. At the end of the day, Mike and I both are trying to, we like the access. To get the
Mm-hmm.
better the access, the better the content. You've seen that, folks. If you've seen on the Dodgers 2080 site, which with Pete, you got a quick little interview with Freddie Freeman. That doesn't happen much.
Mm-hmm.
Little guy don't get Freddie Freeman much, but Pete gets on there, and so we're going to be at as much as we can. Pete will do what he can do for us. He's of course allowed to go get whatever he wants. We love Pete. We want him to grow in his work. And then we got a guy, that same guy. I'm not going to mention his name because he likes
Okay.
laid back, but he's in
Okay.
on helping us with the videos, and then we'll contact some of the others. I know Ryan's
Nice.
been too busy rocking and all that stuff and making music, which is great, and we'll contact the rest of the group. And I think it just gives us a good shot in the arm. And I think the channel has suffered from consistency, and so we will now have that consistency as we was not. It's not. We'll start working through things, and then we'll start figuring out patterns.
Yep.
So
So
there are channels we got to compete with, and
and for those of you in the chat right now, I mean, I hope to see you guys post something that you want to see from us. Do you want more coverage on the Quakes? Do you want more coverage on, Tulsa? Great Lakes. I try and do my best to, do around, on a weekly basis. I post a lot of stuff on, all the teams. Or do you want to see more stuff on the Dodgers? And feature certain players, or or what? What do you guys want to see? And I hope to get that from you guys so we can start concentrating on building that. And I look at it. I come from the public servant. Um, I have a public servant background, so I like to serve the public, and so it's my goal and drive to serve the viewers that are going to be here and the readers that I have, and produce a good product and be able to say, "Here you go." So,
And I'm going to put the Substack in the chat. So we're going to be providing various types of views here, various types of things that we can do, focus on. We'll still have the Instagram. We're still going to have. We each have our own X account. There is a Dodgers 2080 X account. It's not as popular as my own personal account. But all those things will keep going, and we just want to bring the content that you guys want to see, and of course that we enjoy doing. So
yep.
If you go, hey, can you talk about the assistant groundskeeper? Tulsa? Probably not. And I'm Mike. I don't know about you. I'm not into that. Maybe you are.
Me either.
Wasn't Casey? He did some groundskeeping work at Oklahoma City, didn't he?
I think so.
So if we ever need to talk about that, we'll bring Casey on.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is good for everybody. I mean, it's going to be better, no doubt. And once Mike, once I give him all the keys to everything, said he could do whatever he wants on things. That when we say Christian values, both Mike and I are Christians, and so it doesn't mean you have to be a Christian to listen to this, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're going to keep it clean. We're not going to go post stuff about gossip and all that. Even when controversial things come up, we're not going to go into gory detail. And we like to keep, as you all know, we like to keep it respectful. And it's one of those, hey, treat your neighbors well. That's where it's about. That's what it's all about. And so that's kind of where we lay down with that type of stuff. We're going to treat everybody correctly. We're going to work with the Dodgers correctly. We're not going to leak. There's certain things that, the Dodgers don't like it when things get leaked. So we're not going to leak. Oh, this is important. Oscar's really nails it here. Consistency is the most challenging part of content creation, especially when it's mostly voluntary. You make a living by other means. Yeah. But fortunately, Mike doesn't make a living with the fire department anymore.
I'm retired, so this is what I'll be doing. So
that's gonna help. And like I said, we'll align. I don't want to compete with Doug. I don't want to compete with Clint. Because if we're all on there at the same time, someone's not going to get views. It's probably going to be, at least initially, it'll be us. But we also want to provide the content that you want to see. Like I said, if you like, there's a prospect you want to talk about, hit us up in the chat. Send it, Dodgers2080@gmail.com. I'll make sure Mike gets it too, especially if it's prospect related. And we can start doing those types of things again. I used to do a lot more prospect spotlights. And 5 things about somebody, or just an interview or things like that. We can start doing those things again. But yeah, let us know what you want to do, what you all want to see, and if it lines up with what we want to do, then it's a good chance it happens. But
yeah, I mean, like my Substack, has articles on Soronowski, homegrown talent, the playoff systems. What else did I put in there? I highlighted some different players that are in there. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. There's some stuff on Emil Morales and Charles Devlin. So, and Landon Viderick. So yeah, there's some stuff that's in there, that'll help you guys out.
Yep. And speaking of Soronowski,
they are Showtime.
We always got you out there, Showtime. You just, sometimes we was like, hey, wait a minute, we're gonna package it up a little bit so we can get it all going at once. But yeah, Dang, man, that was part of the Hunter Fiducia trade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That's where I tell you, the Dodgers have really been shining in those trades that people go, "Hey, what are you doing? What's the point?"
Those scouts really know what they're looking for, and they pick those diamonds out of the rough. I mean, Serwanowski is, so far in the starts that he has made with Great Lakes, and granted, it's high A baseball right now. Who knows what his stuff is going to be like, and or play if and when he gets pulled up to Tulsa probably next year. So he's just got some terrific stuff. His fastball is, around 96, 97 miles an hour. Generates up a little bit more. His delivery is really unique, and how he delivers the ball to where you really can't pick up what he's going to be throwing. And so he looks to be a very solid pickup by the Dodgers, and he's gonna, if he keeps going the way that he's going, he's gonna be a high-powered and highly ranked prospect if he blossoms into the person who a lot of us that's been watching him think he's going to be.
So both Sirota and Saranowski came from the Reds. Were they in the same draft?
I don't know about that. I'd have to look at that
The
part.
Reds, 2024 draft?
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Thank you, Carlos.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes. Yeah, we're looking forward to it too. I mean, to be honest, folks, I was on the verge of going away.
I
And
talked
Mike
him out of
said,
it.
"Hey, let's do this together." Like, oh, geez, perfect. And so, yeah, and just for everyone, I didn't steal them from Dodgers Beat. I talked to Roger today. Everything's cool. Roger and I are friends, so everything's cool on all that stuff. And I'm trying to go find out. Okay, so it was Sirota. Okay, what year is this? Well, that's 2025. I really don't care about that. Give me 2024. I'm pulling it up real quick. It's gonna. When was Saranowski? Oh wait, gosh darn it! These. I swear, man. You click a link that's supposed to go right to the place you go, and it doesn't give it to you. Sirota last year was in 2024. So maybe 2023. I don't see anything. Oh, and they still make you select the team again. Me and the major league and minor league websites, I swear, I don't see him.
I mean, like Serwanowski, he's like sitting over 100 strikeouts already for the year.
Yeah.
So
Let's see where. Gosh, I'm not seeing his. I got to spell it now. It's just I'm just trying not to spell it.
Serwanowski was drafted in 2022.
Oh, okay. So but he's still only 21. So okay, he was coming out of high school.
Yeah, he's 21
6'9",
years old.
190-ish. So not the biggest of dudes, but
Oh,
he's a nasty lefty.
yeah, he's 6'5". I mean, he's.
Yeah. I'm looking at his grill right now. His hair is different. He looks a little bit like Alex Wood.
Yes.
I mean, just facially.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Just like I mentioned it the other day, Alex Call looks like old Dodger shortstop Bill Russell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whoa, hello. But yeah, we got Dodgers know how to do this stuff, and that's where they're. Let's see, he was. Oh man, Saranowski was a 15th pick, 15th round.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Carlos coming in. Oh, this was good. I like the. Okay, we're going to talk a little Major League. Well, Showtime, real quick. Wondering about Root, their first pick, the number 40 pick, 41 is starring right now. But with a college pitcher, they're real careful.
Mm-hmm.
They just I don't think we see him this year. We could at the very end, like in 2021, we did see Sheehan for a couple of starts at Rancho. and but they really keep that. They're nervous about their pitching, for good reason. But the college guys, they go through. They're going through that their postseason tournament, which is really, it leads to arm abuse. And I don't know what Root did in any of the postseason, or how he was treated, but some of these college coaches are a disaster.
I think they keep him in Arizona
Yeah.
and evaluate him, go through strength training and conditioning training with him. He'll probably see him hit in spring training, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the complex league next year.
At least to get started. Okay, here we go. Another super chat. Carlos Garcia. This is the stuff. Oh, man. I'm getting excited about these two guys getting Edman and Muncy, especially Muncy. I mean, goodness. He's only played like 70 games and he's got a WAR of 3.2. How valuable is that, man? Thanks again, Carlos. Well, to be honest, I think one of them will be Freeland and the other one will be Justin Dean, is my guess. And then they don't have, because of the roster expansion, they didn't have to drop someone to put Kim on. So that's really cool. So that means that they don't have to make a Conforto decision. Let's see, Carlos Garcia. Let's see, it's at Tim Rogers 2080. Yeah, they don't have to make those decisions with Kopech. They didn't have to drop anyone. So they're allowed 14 pitchers now. But as more of these pitchers come back,
yeah, you're gonna do some balancing.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not. I gotta tell you, better not be a Gardo. To be honest, he's starting to move up a little bit on the trust ladder, but shoot, man, we gotta. I mean, echoes of Don Stanhouse. If you're old, the Dodgers signed a free agent pitcher named Don Stanhouse after 1979. He was on the World Series losing team, the Baltimore Orioles. He was supposed to be a star, and he sucked. And Tanner Scott's going through it.
Yeah.
He's just going through it. And, I don't know if you all heard the chit-chat yesterday between Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser. Joe was concerned about the closing thing. And Hershiser was going, well, they can, because I'm not a big fan of a designated closer. And Hershiser was kind of taking that. But at the end of the day, whoever is in the ninth has to have some stones. And we haven't seen that. Other than the guy last year that was closing for us was Blake Trinan. And it might have to be him again. I'd like more options, but Kirby Yates has been really bad. He seems broken. Tanner Scott just is, I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with that. No doubt about it. I mean, for me, I'm not as worried with the whole pitching stuff as I am with the offense.
Yeah.
To me, that's my number one concern right now is you're not going to win any playoff games scoring, 3 or 4 runs in the first and second inning and not doing anything else, the whole rest of the game.
Yeah.
Especially when, your starters are shoving, and I think the bullpen steps it up. And I think we're going to see a lot more of Robleski, and I think we're going to see a lot more of Kasperius and Dreyer. So, those guys are solid. They're going to come in and and shut things down and hand it off to someone like Blake Triton and Alex Vesia. I'm not going to be surprised if we see Vesia, in the closer role.
Yeah, hopefully it comes back healthy. So we have first request is to interview a dead guy. Dressing so
nice,
Tony. So Norm brings it up. Hey, you know what, Robleski? I that idea. I don't know if it was Norm or someone else early this year or late last year, kind of compared him a little bit to Josh Hader. Coming in, he's not as much on the side and everything like that, but his stuff's nasty.
It is.
And he can hit 100.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like a why not? I mean, I know it's only a 2-game lead, and I think they're one behind the Phillies now also
Yes.
for that. I tell you that they got to just man, I don't want that bye week, or I want the bye week, obviously. But I actually think that the starting pitching will be fine with that. Like you said, man, you can't go and put more runs on the board than they did against the Diamondbacks. Now, nothing against Zach Gallen, because he's actually a really good pitcher, but it doesn't matter. You got to go pound him. And then the next guy that Rodriguez, you got to pound him. All those I was that game on Saturday where, and I was listening to it, so it was a little more difficult to follow. But I'm hearing this at bat where there's two guys walk in a row. Paez gets up there and swings the first pitch, double play. What's going on? Or maybe it wasn't double play, but it doesn't matter. It's like,
Yeah, it was.
what are you doing? Where 8 pitches in a row? I don't care where that pitch is. Make him throw you a strike now. And I'm starting to wonder, how much knucklehead does that guy have in him?
Yeah.
Because if he was told, then he shouldn't have swung for sure. But if he was, even if you're not told, it's kind of common sense baseball. We still see him with the base running.
I would, and I wouldn't really put a whole lot of it. Paez has been, floundering a little bit, but Freddie Freeman, with his base run, he did the exact same that Andy Paez did.
Well, and the reason I brought it up though is because I'm wondering if that stuff's contagious.
Yeah,
because in the same game, right? Kike Hernandez doesn't slide. Mookie wasn't even in position, so that Kike had to turn his direction. He's supposed to be directly behind so that it could be there. So you have all of a sudden your star guys now acting like idiots when this stuff didn't happen last year.
No,
this is 2024 Yankees baseball, not Dodgers baseball. It's sloppy. They've got to clean it up. These are mental mistakes. And we can go and say, well, Dave Roberts needs to do this. Dave Roberts needs to do that. These are professionals. This is stuff that they play every day. They know what they're supposed to do. They have to execute.
And Dave Roberts has said stuff. He says stuff in the media.
Mm-hmm.
I think more than what he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the comments that he's made that kind of throw a little bit of shade onto the team, and they hear that, and benching To and saying if you're not going to be producing, then you're not going to be playing. I mean, he didn't say that at all last year, and everybody was saying that he was they call us prospect huggers, but he's like he's the father figure over the team, and really not doing a whole lot for him. And that's why and I completely agree with everything that you just said, and that's why I do not buy this anymore. I'm kind of like overhearing about it. This is when they play the Dodgers, this is every team's World Series and NLDS playoff game for them. Okay, yeah, that was good before the All-Star break and maybe a little bit afterward,
Yeah.
but that's not good anymore.
Yeah, they don't have the best record.
The Diamondbacks are just playing spoiler, and then when they're not going for anything in regards to oh, this is their World Series. They already beat us. They went to the World Series already.
Mm-hmm.
After they beat us. And so I'm not really buying that. I agree with everything you just said. It's all mental breakdown of the team, and like making just these silly mistakes that they haven't done.
Yeah, and guys like on the Diamondbacks, but this is going to be every team that's not a contender. Now you have guys playing for a contract next year, like Zach Gallen. All of a sudden, he goes and makes the Dodgers look stupid. And it was said, I think, or Hershiser said he might have gained himself a few $1 million. Either Davis or Hershiser said that. And these guys are playing for that. They have, and they have to. It's for them now. It's got to be a little bit of selfishness
Oh,
for
definitely.
guys that are not in the race. And so they're going to go out and they're doing the best. They're focused. They're taking those opportunities. Yeah, I mean, I think it's frustrating because we know this team is. When I heard Freddie, and I was again listening, when I heard Freddie Freeman did that, I'm going, what? What? So because all year now, I'm a little angry, a little picking on Pajes a little bit, and he's had a great year, and yay, great man of God, but gosh darn it, those mental errors
Mm-hmm.
been the biggest issue with him. His base running, and now sometimes at the plate, just he's got to get better with that because I
Especially this time of the
he
year.
will not be a Dodger much longer if he continues to be like that. You've seen it over the few years. They get rid of these types of guys that don't want to play the game right. It has nothing to do with it. Sometimes that has to do with attitude, but also it's like, hey, can you do what you're supposed to do? There's a Dodger way to do this. There's an expectation. If he's going to keep doing that, he will not be a Dodger. They'll sell high on him. That's a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
So I want him to be a Dodger. I want the homegrown guy, and I want him to be good.
Exactly.
He can't infect with this knuckleheadness. And you know what? He needs to be when this stuff happens. You got to bench him. Now I know they benched Teo because he was not hitting, but I know what was it Snitker would bench Acuna sometimes when he would do something stupid. Mostly his though was just not hustling, but making a stupid baseball decision. You got to figure out a way to do that. And with Kim coming back, it's a good thing. And when Edman and Muncy come back, then now they have more weapons to go. Hey, you know what? Because Justin Dean ain't going to replace you. It's going to be Tommy Edman. Have a seat.
And kind of like what Oscar Vargas was talking about. Dodgers have one of the the easiest schedules left. Yeah, they do, but they've had a pretty easy schedule. Right now they almost they lose 2 out of 4 in Colorado. After almost sweeping the Padres, and they come out of the at a Petco with 1 win, and then a struggling Diamondbacks team comes in after they got swept by the Diamondbacks and almost sweep the Dodgers. So they could have the easiest schedule. It's their mentality of how they're going to be playing for that game. It's kind of like that they tick up for certain teams that come in, and then they kind of tone it down, and don't try as hard. So I mean, they could still lose, to a lot of these teams. The Phillies are going to be coming into town. The Mariners, depending on how they're going to be playing from here until I think that's the last series of the regular season.
They're right in the middle of it.
And if they're in it and they're going to need to win, they're going to be playing their butt off.
Yeah, and I think
wanting to win.
We're getting, I think, a lot of the common things here. Norm, I didn't see what you had said, Norm, but I think I said what you were talking about. You got to hold these guys accountable. You got to bench guys. You got to just say, you know what? This isn't what we do. This isn't the Dodger way. We don't do that type of thing. And if it happens once, okay, with Freddie, it happened once. Better not happen again. But Pajes, it's happened multiple times. Teo was the guy that's been dogging it all year till now. Recently, he's been stepping it up a bit. I got a Yankee guy in there. Norm, Teo was going to get he had a competitive contract offer with the Blue Jays. It was an overpay. We all understood that, and it's kind of a bummer that people say fat and lazy. Well, I don't think he's fat. I mean, no, he's not fat. I've literally shaken hands with that guy. He's not fat, but he needs to step it up, and he has been working a little bit harder. but he can't be. He'll be shipped out if he keeps doing this stuff. They'll eat the contract because guess what? The Dodgers, man. There's the other thing. It's not my money, and the Dodgers got a ton of not my money. They
Mhm.
will. They'll move them. They'll move guys if they. So boy, they don't make. Not that no guarantee they win the World Series, but if they go out in the playoffs like dogs in a bad way, where they're just dead dogs and
And
they're
play
not.
like the Yankees.
Yeah, they get swept. Yeah, they get swept, or they play like the 2024 Yankees, or losing the pot. Just not coming in dead. I think they can figure it out. They have before, but it just seems a little later than before than last year. That's for sure.
I think we definitely see a different Teoscar Hernandez, especially in the playoffs. I think we see a different Tanner Scott in the playoffs. All these people that everybody's worried about, and which is,
Shit.
which they should be. You know, uh, honestly, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of Conforto. And it's all going to be
Yeah.
dependent. It's all going to be dependent on Tommy Edman, in my view. If
Mhm.
Tommy Edman can come back and actually produce, and he's obviously going to make plays depending on how his ankle's feeling. It's the bat that I'm going to have the question on because he hasn't really played a whole lot this year.
Yeah.
And when he
And his
has
bat
played,
yeah.
his bat wasn't all the best. So he's going to need to be able to hit uh, and come up. Don't have these expectations of the Tommy Edman when he came over to the Dodgers in the playoff system, and he's going to just be raking the whole time because, and it's the same thing with Teoscar Hernandez. I think that because everybody before the beginning of the season and when they were signing started, that was the big thing. We want To back. We want,
Yep.
and we're going to riot if it doesn't. You know, well, he's back,
Mhm.
so you can't sit there and go, we're ready to trade the guy now,
Yeah.
after one season.
I
So,
wouldn't it just depends on how things go this year.
yeah,
They're going to be they just have to perform. If they
definitely.
perform, they can't have a bad exit.
So, do we get rid of Mookie Betts? He hasn't performed.
He's been at least improving.
Yeah, he
Been
has.
better. But I
So,
mean, Mookie's kind of locked in. He's got no trade and all that type of stuff.
yeah,
The only way Mookie gets traded is if he wants to be traded. So we're Mookie. He's been playing a good shortstop. I mean, my goodness,
dude, he's been killing
I've been
it.
impressed.
I think
Yeah,
he's been doing good all year.
yeah,
Personally.
defensively, yeah, for sure. But he's starting to come up, and the thing about Edmund also. So last year, where Edmund was really strong was against left-handed pitching.
Hmm.
This year, it's not there.
Mm-mm.
He actually had more. He was doing more damage left-handed than right-handed, which is kind of weird. But it's one of those things, and I always get concerned now. What did the Dodgers tell him to do? Because he talked about trying to do more from the left side, and did it impact the right side now? I mean, who knows? I mean, being a switch, I am a switch. It wasn't a very good one, but I was a switch hitter, and things are different. But also patterns can get in there that go on both sides. So, um, and I still think this is the case with Tanner Scott and some other guys,
Hmm.
where the coaching staff gets in there and goes, "Hey, we know you're really good, but you can be even a little better." But sometimes that's not working, and
Yeah.
like Tanner Scott, that pitch he threw to Corbin Carroll, it was right there for him to crush.
I
Here
th-
we,
and
here,
I honestly think that we're going to see a totally different team mid-September going into the playoffs. I
yeah,
think especially with Muncy coming back, I think he dials the team back in, kind of like he did, last year. He's the one who pretty much dialed that team in and got their head straight. So I think with him coming back in that clubhouse, he's going to be doing something. Uh, I think this team's going to be doing a lot better, and I think a lot of the questions are going to start going away.
yeah. Craig's in the house. Tony Porks puts out the obvious here. What the heck? What the heck? You know, they're against these teams. And then Oscar is talking about separating from the rest of the people. They'll do it in the postseason. They're not going to do it all in September. You can't be a dad and husband and get away with that.
And I kind of remember having these conversations last year,
Yeah.
with the team and everybody saying that they're lazy and they're not trying, and
Yeah.
so
That was like in June,
yeah.
though. And that's June gloom type stuff. So yeah, Norm mentions this, and I have talked about this one too. He wasn't in the right position. I'm gonna give that I kind of go and give that to a lack of experience at shortstop, and I
Mhm.
don't think he makes that mistake again. So I people make mistakes, okay, just don't do it again. You know, don't do the same thing over and over. And because if you like if Mookie does that again, maybe hey, you're gonna sit the rest of the game, even if it's Mookie Betts, or if it's Pajes, if he goes and swings at a three, 8 balls in a row, and he swings the first pitch again, you're out. Even if he hit a home run,
Mhm.
out of the game.
I can tell you from experience and covering the games this year, the games that I covered, everything that I've done, so far. Mookie's probably the hardest worker.
Always.
He is out there every single day, practicing, learning, refining his skills, and getting better. So it's he learns from his mistakes and he does not repeat them.
Yeah. Well, Norm's saying if Teo and Betts don't start hitting, Betts has been hitting though. That's the thing. He's been
Mhm.
much better. They keep Teo right. There's no switch to flip. I don't agree with that. Even though I don't like Teo and right. But that's over. Teo's going to be in right field. Mookie Betts is going to be at shortstop. And even if you were to say, let's move Mookie off of short, you're not getting another bat that's going to improve your team. That's
I
just
mean, hearing what Dave's been saying about Teoscar, I mean, I probably wouldn't be surprised if they moved him to left field and put Paz in right, especially when Edmund comes back.
that's what that is the move. Or, well, I still believe that no matter what, in October, number 8 is going to be in the starting lineup.
Mhm.
And so would it be maybe he's the one that plays center?
Yeah.
Maybe Tommy Tanks is at second. But yeah, they're a much better team with Pajes and Wright.
And I don't have a problem with Mookie being a single hitter now.
I don't either.
I
I'd
mean,
I prefer more, but if I have a
yeah.
good fielding shortstop that's getting on base, I'm in. But it's one of those years where I don't know. I don't think he's a singles hitter now. I think he's gone through some stuff. It's been a tough year for him. Other thing, there was the sickness, lost his stepfather, going through the position change, all that type of stuff. I just think it kind of adds up, and it's been a rough one for him. And but he's fighting through it. Yeah, I agree with this with Oscar saying, gaining back the muscle. I think that was a huge thing. Yeah, he's getting it back up. I'm not.
Mhm.
I Mookie is kind of out of my concern range. It's Conforto for everybody, right? Hey, pile on Michael Conforto. It's Tanner Scott. It's Teo. Just not that they can't, because I still believe, to be honest with you, I still believe that Michael Conforto is. I can't believe he's this bad this year. What happened?
Yeah.
I mean, I think again, maybe he was messed with too much.
You know,
Michael, you did really well this again away from San Francisco and all. Yeah, who knows what they're doing?
and I'll say it. I think Ohtani needs to step it up too.
Oh, sure, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if he's going to be in that leadoff role, he needs to be a lot more consistent and cut out the strikeout and chase and everything that he's doing. Leading off. And if
yeah.
he can't do that, then he needs to be moved down, or some changes need to happen.
Yep.
You know,
Well, and I couldn't agree more. And the other, I think,
it's
I
a.
think
I don't mean to cut you off here,
yeah,
especially when he's pitching. He needs to be
mhm,
moved down.
yeah, I do. I agree with that. Even Joey Gallo's better than Conforto. Well, at least yeah. I mean, I'm not fighting you on that.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting you on that. But I think Hae-Sung Kim rolls right into the lineup. I think why not give him a chance if Conforto's still batting about what 180, Teo's at 247 or something like that and dropping.
He's
You just
he's
put
not
him
an
in.
outfielder, though. He is not an
No,
outfielder.
yeah,
So
it,
you're gonna put somebody out there in the major league going into the playoffs and throw him out in left field where he's played like 2 games and didn't get hardly any action, with OKC. And, I've seen him play in the outfield,
yeah,
especially when he came in, when he first started, because he was playing a lot of center field. He moves around, his lateral movement and his back and forth. I mean, he's fast, but reading the ball, um,
it's different.
he did make some mistakes out there, and he doesn't have the strongest arm,
Yeah,
out there. So I don't know. To me, everybody's like, like going, oh yeah. And then you're gonna put that pressure on him. How is he gonna, come up to bat?
yeah. It's the alternative is to continue doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
and so I think he does provide some extra energy to the team,
Hmm.
and so and is he going to be worse than
No, no.
some of these other guys? Let's see. So here we got some positive Conforto stuff. XW Woba or ex Woba, sorry. It's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, but yeah, regardless, you got to produce positive results. Yeah. I mean, those metrics are a good thing. Oh, hepatitis, see you later is ready to bring back James Paxton. Yeah, at least he's more recent than Heen Dog.
Mm.
We like the humor too.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Um, we got yeah. Well, were you on a time limit?
I'm good for right now. I can go a little bit longer.
All right, cool. Um, let's see. Batching Ohtani, yeah. That's the thing. Who do you move off Ohtani off lead up? Well, that's why. To be honest, that's where the Hae-Sung Kim stuff pops into my head to go. Hey, why not try it?
I
But
put Mookie back at leadoff.
yeah, there's no speed there. He's actually getting below average in speed. It's kind of a concern. It's like, oh, but the thing is, he's not, he hasn't, it's not like he gained a bunch of, Jock Peterson weight. It's like,
Yeah.
you can see why Jock Peterson's slow because, well, he gains 10 pounds every year. Mookie's not that way.
I think having him back at leadoff, uh, do, I don't know. I mean, how many stolen bases has Otani gotten this year? I mean, granted, he's pitching and they don't want him to
Yeah.
steal, and
I
all
don't want
that.
him stealing.
You know, do we put Hae-Sung Kim, there? Yeah, the speed is there. He's probably going to be the best, you know, um, run produce, being able to steal bases, on the team when he comes back. But his bat isn't really that consistent.
No.
Uh, I actually seen him do a pirouette yesterday, after he swung and did like, 3 turns after swinging at the bat, or swinging at the ball. So, yeah, if he was more consistent and he was more reliable, then yeah, he would be one of the guys who I would put there. I just think Mookie would do a very good job there. He still has enough speed to be able to get around the bases when the ball's put in play, go from first to third, from second to home. So it's just all about moving runners around instead of leaving them sit there. And then it's like your leadoff hitter comes up and the music starts and he whiffs at the ball, 3 different times and goes 0 for 4 for a game again, with runners in scoring position.
Be nice, Norm. You don't need to be harsh. Okay, just let us. We're just talking. Just calm down. Go after Tucker. Well, we can't get Tucker right now. Dodger Blue 2, welcome aboard. The thing is, I mean, the ideal, of course, is to have someone like Tommy Edman or HSK batting ninth. That's what because you got guys that can do stuff with that. But yeah, it's been so frustrating. You've got how many times do we have first two guys get on and then nothing happens, or the opposite occurs? No one gets on. There's 2 outs, and then some things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But not enough. So it's just that lack of consistency, and it's from top to bottom. Nice to see, by the way, Will Smith knocking the puck out of a ball there. Maybe that spurs something. And but it's one of those things where there's just something not clicking with the team. And let's Max Muncy, he's been, numbers wise in terms of just wins and losses, he's been the most valuable player on the team. It's weird.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, Hepatitis. I think before you got there, I think when Muncy comes back,
yep,
he's going to come in there and lay the law down, and I think we're going to see a totally different team.
Yeah, and this is true here too, right? From Osterberg, Ohtani hasn't had that streak burst of hitting he had last year, so maybe that's coming. That would be nice. No doubt, Norm. They're all underachieving, or we wouldn't be having these conversations, just going crazy with lineup changes, because nothing's working. That's the problem.
Right.
They're underachieving. Who knows why? Some of them we can go. Mookie, he was sick, blah, blah, all that stuff for sure. Freddie returning, but he started out really well, then went into the dumper, but he's been back. Will Smith, I think, is just it's catching season, and hopefully he's had enough hopefully had a big enough slump to be done with it. But you remember last year in the playoffs, in the postseason, Will Smith ended up batting 8th because of where he was at in terms of his game,
and got some clutch hits.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of a weird thing. Yeah, he had a home run in Game 6. Yeah. See, Carlos, I'm with you, man. On Conforto. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. That's been going on with Conforto. It's just it's beyond. I just can't believe it. Oscar, I was literally thinking about this too. It's like just play him 50-50 for a bit, or maybe he's jumped out of it. That's some of the things to consider. But Will Smith is he's a solid. He's just a solid dude. He's their catcher, and so I don't know.
And I also kind of think that a lot of this is and we're not really seeing it from the Cubs, but this starting earlier than everybody else and traveling and the world tour that they've been doing the last couple of years, and I understand it. I think that's kind of caught up with it because they've done it 2 years in a row, and I think that's caught up to them finally.
Yeah.
And we're kind of seeing that now.
Well, Cubs had an extra month. They weren't in the playoffs.
Right.
Dodgers played till October 30th.
So,
and
I think a lot of that. I don't want to say a lot of it, but I think that's some play into this also is the length of their schedule. The last 2 years, I think, is kind of, like I said, kind of caught up to them. And I was happy to see the schedule that came out for 2026. They're not doing any of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm when we're ready to talk 2026, I could not be more optimistic, because this is true here, right here. Ohtani did point out before the season, it's the first time he has not had any rest because of rehabs, winning World Series, and pitching again. I think he's gassed. And I think the whole team, like you said, that's where it's at. Is because first of all, this team's always in the playoffs. Whether they're eliminated early or later, they're always playing at least another couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That does wear them down. Usually it's the pitching, though. Because the pitching was all injured last year, so they're plenty good. Or they were on different teams where they weren't on the in the playoffs. So the pitching is, at least the starters, has been fine. The relievers, Vesey is starting to wear down a little bit. Trinan got hurt. But Tanner Scott was with the Padres, and they were out a couple series earlier than the Dodgers. Kirby Yates wasn't in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's just kind of where, it does. These are humans. And I think Doc has tried to find ways of getting guys rest. Despite the fact that, I hate seeing guys get cut, especially guys like Austin Barnes and Chris Taylor, but bringing up rushing was the right thing to do. Gives him a chance to relieve Smith, and Smith does wear down a lot, and because he should. Catching's hard, but maybe it has caught up with them. And again, he caught all but 2 innings or an inning last year in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
That's extra too. So
and I agree with what Norm's saying. There also is, I've kind of talked about this a couple times. Is, give Ohtani a break. Why does he have to be the DH?
yeah,
Especially when he's pitching.
yep.
Let's put somebody else out there. If Dalton's going to be, catching him, put Will Smith as the DH. I mean,
Yep.
give the guy, a little bit of time, and rest him a little bit, especially now that we're getting into the playoff system, having him play and dump everything on. Nobody knows how much pressure is put on this guy, with all the media blast that he gets and everything. I mean, he can't go anywhere or do anything, without, just being blasted by the media.
Mm-hmm.
Give the guy a little bit of time and, set him down, and give him like a day off. And even if he's not pitching, give him a day off at least.
Yeah, give him a real day off. Give him. It's like, hey, Shohei, especially we got an extra guy on the roster. Don't come to the park, but almost don't come to the park.
Mm-hmm.
Take that day. Do that with Freddie. Do that with Mookie. Give them real days off. They need it. And you mentioned, so the last time I had a media pass, there's the big scrum for Shohei.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
And I could see it in his eye. I could see it in his face, in his eyes. That it's like, oh man, this is hard. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like being here. I mean, I literally prayed for the guy. Right there, I could just see that burden that he had, because he's carrying the weight of a whole country on his team.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got, these guys, these reporters doing people dirty to get to get closer to Shohei.
Yes, they do.
They really do. No, I mean, how many women have told you, "Hey, I got elbowed out. I got an elbow in the back," or something like that?
Yeah.
It does happen. So yeah, it's legit. Shohei's got a lot on him. So give him a day off. Just I know they did that. They tried to do it. They did it in Colorado, which was a good thing, but he didn't have that extra day. It was like, okay, yeah, you're going to Colorado. And guess what? We got the Padres tomorrow. I mean, that was kind of what it ended up being with. It's like, hey, great, he got a day, and they got that win.
I mean, if he's scheduled to pitch, the day before, or you're going to give him a day off the day after he pitches.
Yeah.
There's got to be some type of a little bit of a break in there for him. And because I don't care who you are. Uh, I've worked with some pretty amazing and talented and physical freaks,
Mhm.
in my career. And, it's unsustainable of what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And so, yeah, a lot of people are out there talking about, all the stuff that's on Shohei.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole the Japan cares, obviously cares a heck of a lot about him, and even here, I mean, it's though.
I mean, when I was at spring training, there is a mass group of Japanese
Mhm.
reporters, and the guy that I met was explaining to me how it broke down. Is he has 4 photographers, including a video guy that is assigned to Shohei Ohtani only.
Mhm.
And then there's another group that's assigned to Yamamoto only. And then there's another group that's assigned to Sasaki only. But if Shohei was to go like to the backfields, what he did,
Mhm.
they forget about Yamamoto and
Yep,
Sasaki, and then they all run back there.
they did. No, I was.
Remember
Oh,
that?
yeah, well, because that Wednesday I was there, Yainer Fernandez told me that Shohei was going to come hit. It was no one knew.
Hmm.
And I told the Josh, the Dodgers explicit guy, hey, just be here. So we're there all set up. 15 minutes before, there's a herd.
Yeah.
There's just a million people. A
Hmm.
million, they're just coming, and they're all reporters. They're all really trying to get in there. It's like, I got my spot, and you got someone shooting right over me. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll help you. I'm going to be cool about it. Especially the guy that likes Buc-ee's. There's one of those Japanese guys. He's my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
talk about Buc-ee's. He's a good dude. And but the it's just insane. And when Freddie Freeman and Will Smith were out there for batting practice, well, the Dodger management was there. I didn't see any reporters though, other than me.
Yeah.
It's a very different thing he has to do. Yeah, Norm's talking about some of the stuff about Cal Raleigh because it is crazy what's going on over there. I'm gonna leave that alone, but you're right to be suspicious, not only with the mega contracts, but the betting.
Mm.
I still believe betting is going to kill baseball. I'm so concerned about it. We're already seeing it with those Cleveland pitchers, where they're under suspicion, and if they're convicted, man, oh boy, they're done.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, we're in I just, man, they got to break that. They got to break that thing. Um, I can tell you this, we will not be taking sponsorship from any of those people.
Right.
Let's see. Hepatitis, see you later. Well, at least we'll be having meaningful baseball in September. Boy, he ain't kidding.
Yeah.
I thought last year was rough. This one's even tougher because not only are we trying to beat the Padres, of course, but we're still in third spot.
I just
It's fun.
honestly, I'm not too worried about other teams more than I'm worried about the Dodgers beating themselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's theirs to lose.
Yep. Always has been.
That's what I think and truly feel. I talk about the offense, and how I'm really not worried about the team a whole lot. Uh, the only thing that I'm truly worried about is them beating themselves.
Yep. That's it. Because I still believe they're the most talented team.
Hmm.
I mean, I broke it down a couple weeks ago, and it's like they're loaded everywhere. Every spot you go on paper, this team should win the World Series. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah,
But you got to play the game. Yeah, Phillies series this September is going to be the equivalent of Padre regular season series at the end of the year. It does have a lot of meaning,
yeah,
that's for sure, because they that's also a tiebreaker involved, and the Phillies are up 2-1. If it becomes tied, it's 3-3, but I think there's a big tiebreaker on that one, and the Phillies or the Dodgers have the tiebreaker on that. I think it goes to division players
Yep.
like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a good series,
Yeah.
especially, if the Phillies start losing and the Dodgers start winning, or the Dodgers start, and they're tied, they're like tied or a game back, and
Yeah.
getting that second seed, and it's going to be a good one.
Phillies are also they're a team that does they have a couple players that really put the fear in me, even though I mean one of them is Schwarber, but it's not just this year. It's always been that way. He
Hmm.
just comes out and hits the crap out of the ball. And then of course it's Bryce Harper. The dude's a superstar. He can break out and be that guy. I mean, he was kind of like that in 2023 or no, 2022. And he can carry a team. There's not a lot of guys that can carry a team, but
No,
Harper can definitely carry a team.
Trey Turner's someone to be concerned
Yeah,
about.
he's having a great year. Yeah.
With the year, like you said, like with the year that he's having, he could turn things around and turn it up. So, yeah, uh,
Yeah.
like I said, the Dodgers are their own worst enemy. They're either going to win it, through grinding it out, or they're going to lose it by them making silly mistakes.
Well, and so this thing here, the pitchers duels, because both Glasnow and Snell pitch really well in their games, but they're pitching, they have no margin of error. And so, yeah, they're talking about matching zeros, but man, it's just they're one pitch away because the Dodgers offense goes, you know what? We're just not going to show up today for you. Tyler Glasnow hasn't won a baseball game. He doesn't have a W since March.
Hmm.
That's terrible. Shame on the Dodgers. I know pitchers' wins don't matter. Guess who that does matter to? The pitchers. They still care about it.
Well, look what they did to Yamamoto.
Oh gosh.
They just started giving him run support,
Yeah.
you know, and granted, from Tanner Scott's, blunder, in the eighth inning,
Terrible.
y- you know, it's, Glass now is going through with exactly what Yamamoto's been going through almost all year long.
Yeah.
He's out there shoving and doing everything that he can, and the offense gives him like, I think there was a time where it was, oh man, I wrote something about this. It was like almost a month long, you know, what was it? It was like 10 or 12 starts by Yamamoto with a combined run support of 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew
So,
what you meant, Tony. I know how to read misspellings on this stuff. No, it's true that I mean the starting pitching has been awesome. They've every start's been pretty darn good. Almost every start. Or good enough.
mhm.
They're just yeah, that's gotta be, you're a guy like Glasnow, you go out and you're throwing really well and you're still getting nothing. Getting a spam call. Let me shut that off. Let me just put on my so I don't get that was silly notifications off. Yeah, they're going out and pitching. They're doing everything they're supposed to do. If, starting pitcher goes out there and gives up 2 runs, he should get a W. 3 runs,
Mhm.
he should probably get a W. Especially with this team.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It just yeah, the Yamamoto thing that was that. I was driving up. I was in LA on Saturday, back up to Orange County on Sunday, but driving up and Steve Nelson's voice it was like deadpan.
Mhm.
He goes, and it's a home run tie ball game. I so I love listening to Steve Nelson and Rick Monday.
Yeah.
You get just it's raw, and I love it. Rick Monday's always been raw.
Mhm.
But then he got and now Steven Nelson just calling him out. Even, Hershiser, who's probably the biggest of the homers, he's getting a little frustrated. And Yeah. Yeah, bad defense doesn't help. Yeah, the whole Glasnow Pepio thing, it's over.
Mhm.
It is what it is. You don't win the World Series last year without Glasnow in the regular season. Um, that's kind of my thing. But you also mentioned, I think you're definitely correct now. Should have been Miller instead of Pep. But
Yeah.
you know what though? I bet the Rays knew that too.
Yes.
I bet they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Hey, Noah Ortega's out there. Very cool, man.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
Tatis has been scratched from the lineup from a hamstring, huh?
Yeah. Real quick. So just reiterate our announcement. So Mike and I are joining forces. We
Mhm.
are doing all sorts of new stuff, and it's together. He has his Substack. Um, we have this channel. I'm going to give him the keys to the channel. He'll be able to go on when he wants. So that's kind of where he's moved on from Dodger Beat. Everything's cool with all that. So we're joining forces, and we're gonna try to build some consistency into this channel, which has definitely been a weak spot. You're welcome. But we're gonna start working on stuff.
Heck
And,
yeah.
and things are gonna be a little hey, we're trying to figure stuff out. We'll try some stuff, it won't work. We'll try some stuff and it will work. And so most importantly, Mike will get as much access as I can give him to Dodger Stadium, Rancho, and everything else. So that's and so now this becomes more of a prospect station again. Of course, we're still going to talk about the Dodgers, especially there. We'll talk a bit about prospects during September, October, but man, it's
Yeah.
it's this time. But there's also the playoffs. The Quakes are going to be in the playoffs. That starts next week. Who else we got in the playoffs?
All depends on how Great Lake comes out.
Mm,
They play the Whitecaps, or yeah, I think it's the Whitecaps in their last series,
mm-hmm.
and all depends on who wins that series, who's going to be going to the playoffs.
So you're saying Tulsa and OKC aren't going in?
Tulsa is close.
Really?
Oklahoma dropped from being in the lead to 3. So Tulsa's like going through it. You think the Dodgers are going through it. Tulsa's going through it, pretty heavily.
Yeah.
They have like a, 6, sometimes 8-run lead and lose it in the ninth because they can't have any closers come in and close it out without giving up grand slams and home runs you know, and 5 or 6 runs an inning, you know. So it's pretty crazy for them right now. Ryan Ward has kind of cooled off quite a bit also. So he's not, going after the ball like he was.
Mm.
But he's still hitting. He's hitting
Probably
doubles.
rest.
Yeah, he's still getting some doubles. But he's not dropping bombs anymore.
Yeah.
Hasn't been lately. And scoring the amount of runs. So, and Emil Morales is looking, really good. He's kind of looks like he's kind of grown up a little bit,
Yeah.
in the way that his approach to the game, in the way that he's hitting. So yeah,
And Norm brings up something, maybe an idea, post game clips, react to them. We could also do that with the minor leagues too,
yeah,
not just the majors. Maybe we just do them because the majors is kind of covered in some ways, but if we could do the minors, that was one of the things I tried to do before was cover, do a wrap up every
hmm
day of the minors. Maybe we could try to figure some of that stuff out a little bit better.
My thing that I'm kind of looking about, and you let me know in the chat, is like on a Monday doing a wrap up of the week before,
Mm,
of the minor league system. How the teams did, what they did in the series, what players stood out, what pitchers stood out. Did they win? Did they lose? What are some of the concerns or whatever? Um, and That's one thing that I was looking at doing, and
Yeah. No, I think that's I think those are things that we can do. I think those are,
Mhm.
a combination of articles and follow it up with the chat, let people ask their questions and things like
Mhm.
that. Maybe they even do a little homework beforehand. Make sure they read your article first
Yeah.
and follow a little bit. And I think that'd be really cool.
So, but I actually got to go. So,
Yep. All right. Cool. Well, folks, it's the beginning of a great partnership.
heck yeah, super
And
excited.
we're gonna, like I said, we're any ideas we would like to hear. Dodgers2080@gmail.com. You can also comment on any of these things. The chat kind of goes away, folks. But if you do a comment, those don't go away, and I'll see those a lot better.
Mhm.
Um,
Or hit me up
we're
on my
not going to
Twitter.
react to what Doc has to say. It's all BS. If you see Norm's thing,
Yeah.
it's all PR. No, we're not going to do that, man.
Yeah.
Heck
No.
no. I like the idea of highlighting players, and going, hey, Ryan Ward did good, or whoever, right?
Mhm.
Even if they will just never play him. So
Yeah.
silly. What can you do? All right, cool. Well, it's not quite as always. It's a little different now. So we are very glad that you were all out to coming out. Had a good chat, especially for
Mhm.
2 o'clock on a holiday. So appreciate you guys doing that. Um, Labor Day, okay, we're working. I'm sure you had plenty of Labor Days when you worked.
Oh yeah, I'm
Um,
used to it.
I've actually been doing some work on the side too. But yeah, thanks everyone. We appreciate you so much. As always, how about I do the first part and you say the second part if you
I
remember?
will.
As always, God bless.
And go Dodgers.
Yeah, baby.